There. I did it. Come to this one. Ooh, it's windy. Can y'all hear me? I'm going to go over to the, it's weird because I can't hear myself. Go back to this one. Okay. Are we here? Hopefully it doesn't delay or anything. Perfect. Okay. Hello, everybody. I had to ditch the other one. And I really liked my thumbnail, but I had to ditch the other one. I haven't done it in a long time. Apparently, you can't schedule and then go join your own thing. I'm here now. That's all that matters. Hey, this girl's Journey and Holly, Big Mac, and Karen and Presley. Jocelyn, I need you to say something so I can add you as a mod. Say the phrase you're supposed to say. Hello. Oh, gotcha. Okay, let me find you. Type it again in the new one. Someone come to the new live. I'm so glad I figured it out. Hey, Hazel, look at y'all. How are y'all? I tried to do it where I just used this new mobile hotspot and I was going to run just the laptop off of this and then just watch YouTube off of it. I saw Sean was in the other chat earlier. Hey, Sean, come over to the new chat. We'll give him a second to come over and I'll say hi. Hey, Gothic, how are you, Sarah? Icy, hello. Sarah, I'm glad you made it. Thank you for waking up for it. Look, there's going to be a zoo behind me. That's why we have lots of bleach whites. Hey, and I said hi to Holly. Ooh, Holly Big Mac. That makes me want a Big Mac. I like it when they have the junior Big Mac. I know you're here. Hello. I'm just waiting to make sure that I have, she might still be in the old one. You know what I mean? Let me see. Jocelyn. Anyway, she'll find it. I might send her a link real quick. She thought that I wasn't gonna, hold on. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, I finally was like, okay, well, I'll respond because it's obviously ignoring it isn't going to help. And I will say, oops, it was typing everything I was saying. I will say that I didn't have to watch her stupid little dedicated vlogs to me or whatever. And I know she's doing another one today. I had someone who completely went through it for me and gave me the notes and gave me the timestamps, and I was able to get stuff together. So, hey, lucky grandma. I know the cat's probably everywhere. That's exact. I mean, like, it's a zoo, but it's a tame zoo. So they went through everything for me, and I was able to get timestamps. I'm not going to share anything. Like, I'm not going to share the screen because that's not necessary. I'll leave that to the professionals, but I did print it out so I could refer to it. So I am like, some of it was incredible what she went into. Some of it was concerning that she went into. And I don't understand why she put it out there. If it had to do with me saying I'll get you the goods or whatever, for her to stay up and do a whiteboard and do so much like to get ready for that stream, that's concerning because that doesn't, I don't think that she's super happy if that's what she's spending her time doing. And I'm not trying to be nasty or whatever, but I don't, she likes to call Sean a cuck, which I don't know if she doesn't get what that means. A cuck would be if I was out showing my goods to everyone and he was just okay with it. You know what I mean? That is my understanding of what a cuck is. Now, maybe a simp, if maybe she meant a simp, I'm not really sure. But I'm going to say this again. No, a cup is Yaba, who lets you sit around and completely obsess and talk about us 24/7. That is a cup that at the expense of your time with her, you are obsessing over me. And the fact that you remembered all of that stuff in detail to the extent that you did, that's odd. It's a little bit creepy and it's odd, but that's okay. We can go through it. Yeah, I would say a simp if you want to say something. Where's Jocelyn? Still not here. Hold on, Jocelyn. I can't go into the old chat. Hold on. Okay, we're good with her. She thinks she might still be on the block list. Jocelyn and I had quite an adventure in the beginning days. But anyways, so that's that. I mean, I think that's what she meant. Surely she didn't really mean a cup, because I would say that was more maybe appropriate when he was in a different relationship. Yeah, if she's here, but yeah, yes. Yes, Shauna's not been fired or in handcuffs. And I wonder how long until her new people are going to start calling her out on the fact that nothing that she says ever happens. Nothing. It's all a tactic to keep people from coming at her. But I'm telling you, beneath this crazy exterior that she shows, she's got some serious abandonment issues. She's got there's some serious stuff at play there, and that's the extent of it. But I am going to address some of the key points, and I won't be here forever. But there were some things that I was like, let's go ahead and address it. So regarding her whiteboard that she did, again, you've all seen it, I would assume. I didn't print that out, but I have it right here to look at. And I'm going to tell you what, good handwriting. I will give it that. What does she call it? Rick board, Rick, or whatever she calls it. So she says I've had food alcohol addiction. Okay. So, and then she goes into my addiction to sweet tarts. Okay. I did have an addiction to sweet tarts, as did she. But she breaks it down into like these little subsections that is it's very strange. So she says that I had a mental health breakdown and I was back to benzos and Valium and I checked into a psych hospital. Okay. Never denied that. Then in 2016, ATX meets Telfer on YouTube. And Artie watches Truthfully Trisha. ATX soon, hold on, sorry, soon, hold on, soon becomes fixated on Trisha. Okay, let's talk about that. At that time in 2016, when people started watching her, everybody was watching her. The best description I've heard was that Randy said that there was a time when everybody woke up, got their coffee, and then tuned into what the hell Truthfully Trisha was doing. So many people were watching her that she was noticed by Dr. Phil. So there was a lot of people watching her antics. Okay. A lot of people. So it wasn't just me. But yeah, I'll readily admit I watched all the crap that she did. I thought that it was entertaining. It was sometimes ridiculous, over the top, but everybody was watching her. So like that, like I said, that's I guess my fixation with her. When she starts saying that I somehow got with Sean to get back at Trisha, I think that she's either that's telling for her because why would I leave a marriage? And then, hey, Pamela, why would I leave a marriage and enter into another one um, if that was the case? What kind of gotcha moment would that be? Um, like, I don't understand. How would that be like, gotcha, man, I married him. We've been together 3 years. So I don't stalk and win over people like she does. Like, I don't follow people around to their stores and stuff to figure out what they like and what makes them work so that I can slip into their life. I don't move to different towns so that I can stay in a hotel and then shack up with my friend waiting to get the person to meet me. You see what I'm saying? Um, that to me doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And I've never really understood why that keeps getting life because nobody believes that. Yeah, I'm not Presley, I'm not going to explain like my life. I'm going to just address some of the things that some of the main points. So anyway, she listed all of my addictions. That's fantastic. Yeah, you even forgot some, but we will not go into that. The early days, who cares? It says that Kate Nyaba tried to take ATX, her only friend. What the hell does that I looked at that timestamp and I was like, the way that I remember it is that Nyaba and Kate told you to kick rocks, and I was your friend. I was the friend that remained. At that time, I wouldn't even call me Kate and Nyaba friends. It was all very, very new, and it was a matter of people kind of finding their niche. So I absolutely did. She did used to do this shitty shit show on her way to work, and then she would, hey Alex, and then she would, and they were cute. She was catchy. She was, likable. She was all of these things, and I watched it. And she did a one stream. It's interesting that she talks about like those early days because she actually, when she lost her job, did a Bridge the Gap GoFundMe where she made a vlog and she said that to bridge the gap because she needed some money, she was then she had this thing that she launched, and it was because she said she didn't have another job yet. I think she fancied herself that she was going to explode on the internet on YouTube, and um, that didn't happen. So when she made a vlog that talked about her addiction to sweet tarts, shared her struggle, uh, it did speak to me. At that time, I only had what, a few months, 6 months, something like that of sobriety from the very same thing. And the way that she was very vulnerable, the way that she said it, I did. I reached out to her through a comment and then she gave me her email address. And that's how we really got started. Um, and it wasn't bad. It was at first we got close fast. We definitely had a lot of things in common as far as um, the use, and we talked about Suboxone and we talked about um, different things and how you can get off of it. And eventually she got her hands on some Suboxone and she and I walked through her detox together. She did the hard work. I'm never going to take that from her. She's the one that did it. And I just helped her um, off the cuff of how to use, and she got off of it. My understanding is that she did. I'm not going to go into the details of what she did with some of the Sweet Tarts Monthly. That's not important. But needless to say, she has a history of hustling and getting money for things that are not legal to get money for. So let me see here. Give me a moment to refer to my notes. Let's see. If she really thinks that, so it says, let me see. Let me find my I don't know so, I don't know why she talked about in 2020 they were gonna leave YouTube when Sam and Yaba got serious. I watched that part, I couldn't really figure which direction that she was going, but, it says that, that I was absolutely in rehab for sweethearts to get off of opiates the day that my daughter graduated from high school, and I was not there. But my understanding is that there was only one child that graduated from college in the Telfer house, so there's 4 that were missed on that end. And I say that only to be like, if you're going to point something out and try to make me look like I'm some sort of inept mother or what have you, um, it's not gonna work. My relationship with my children and my relationship with my ex-husband are just that, they're those. I would be interested to know if you ever tried to get him on panel and what his answer was. Everyone in the household, when our, friendship fell apart and the days after it and the things that happened subsequently, the whole household knew about how insane you were. So there's no way that you're gonna be able to convince them that you're anything other than just completely, unhinged and a bit obsessed. But let's go into the email that she sent to my daughter, and let's go into what precipitated that. So when she would not stop talking about doxing and showing pictures of Savage's son. That's Savage's story. That has nothing to do with me, but that's kind of what started it. And Sam had started dropping where my daughter lived, that she lived with her father, and then she proceeded to pull up a Google map and show where he lived. Okay, so that precipitated it. She was doxing where she lived and you know guesstimating about our relationship, and that did piss me off. So when Savage went live and we talked about her oldest daughter that wants nothing to do with her, that's absolutely the truth. We did do that. We showed her picture and we said, if you're going to talk about our oldest children, well, I don't know if Savage's, but mine was, let's talk about your oldest that won't have anything to do with you. That was absolutely the truth. Um, did I regret it? I don't know. Probably not. I get a little bit insane when it comes to my kids, especially when people are giving away exactly where they live. So that was that you can take that however you want to, either a good thing or you can say that it was out of line. Either way, I'm not going to apologize to it. But so she sent an email. Up she looked up my daughter's address when she was at Texas State and emailed her. Keep in mind that I had just gone through a divorce and what state of mind that my children were in, and how that happened and what we did to make sure that they were okay is none of your business. You wouldn't know how that works because you never divorced your husband. You're still married. So you throw around infidelity, but we'll talk about that in a second. This is what she wrote. Is your dad aware that your mom and Sean are telling everyone on YouTube that your dad abused her and made her stay confined to her room because he was a control freak? I know your relationship with your mother is strained, and I know you love your dad. So I thought you should know what your mom is saying about your dad on the internet. Be well, Sam Telfer. Tefler. She did smell it, Tefler, and it's Telfer. Whatever. I'm sorry your mom dragged you into this, and then put her name. Um, so there we're at that. That's where we're at that. Her kids have been in the thick of it with YouTube. They have been on panels with her. They have done all kinds of things. My daughter wasn't. So there you go. There's that. She can defend it and say, you doxed my daughter. So I absolutely did that or whatever. Well, after you told where she was living. And then try to act like you were some sort of expert on parenting when your oldest ran and she ran fast when she got of age to leave. There's that. Um, so that's where I'm gonna leave that. Yeah, one of the other things that when it fell apart that she said when we talked about she and I were going really having an exchange, and she said that, my son's status as a soldier showed that he was just a pussy ass doing the bidding of Donald Trump, and, so it goes both ways. Neither one of us were very mature in the way that we acted regarding our kids, but I certainly never emailed her daughter and said some shit like this. If you remember, whoever's been here from the beginning, if you've been here and you watched the old days, um, like from the very beginning when the drama community was first getting together, you'll remember that she her daughters would come through the live streams ever so often. Not the oldest one, but the other ones would. And that they play into a pretty big part because at one point, she was a couple of her daughters were talking to Arabia, not anytime recently, not anytime in the past, but they were some of the information came from that. Now you can say that why would Arabia be honest? They had had a falling out. Why would she, why would anybody believe anything that Arabia says, considering the status of their friendship? Well, Sam, the same could be said with you. Who would believe you when you're obviously so bitter and obsessed? Who would believe most of what you say? Your receipts consist of a whole bunch of old screenshots that you got from drunk ass MFW and not any time recently. And you wrote those down again. You've already showed those. Everybody's seen them. And a whiteboard that you put together of a timeline. Did any of you find it fascinating what the history of my sweetheart youth was? I mean, I couldn't tell you, most of what she had told me as far as, her weaknesses. It was so long ago. She breaks it down by month and date. That is so creepy to me. That's very, very strange. It's a little bit concerning. Um, and so I'm gonna hit the big one. We're gonna do this again soon, and we'll go through most more of it. But this is the main thing that I wanted to. Some of this I'm gonna have to go back and look because I don't know what is a zoomy booby? What is that? What are zoomy boobies? Threats on zoomy boobies going to give a Christmas present. I don't know what that means. I'll have to look into that. I didn't look at that one. And we did when she got with Yaba, it appeared for a period of time that she had found some sort of solace, some other little project to work on. She finally got Yaba to bite and to give her the time of day, and they moved in together. Oh, I see. Okay. I don't even know who that is. I've only heard the name. I don't even know who it is. That's so weird. I don't even know who it is. Oh, she might be talking about like a different situation. I don't know why she would go into that on a stream that was titled for me, but she would. So let's talk about the tape. Let's call it the tennis match tape. All right. So there was a tennis match that got recorded, and it was done, I guess, on the sly, and it wasn't very smart because I don't know how nobody saw that the phone was recording the tennis match right there. But anyway, so she showed up to buy some Milky Ways, and somehow she ended up in this tennis match with this dealer. Still had to pay for the weed. That is true. So anyway, when it got around that the tennis match existed, then it became kind of something that legends are made of. And part of what she took Arabia to court for was to say that um, she was being threatened with revenge porn. So, and let me tell you how she got this is gonna tie together, how she got the restraining order on Arabia. She had to tell a judge in court that they had been in a lesbian relationship that had gone wrong, and that Arabia was a scorned lover that, that turned into, like, threats. Okay, so here's the thing. Yeah, exactly. Let's get back to Yaba being a cuck. So, number 1, the tape either exists or it doesn't exist. You know what I mean? Like, you're either neither here nor there with me, but it either exists or it doesn't exist, and I don't know why you're so nervous either way, okay? I don't have the tennis match. I don't have but it's funny that you're so convinced that, that it's somehow gonna be released, and you know that because the tennis match took place when you were already with Yaba. That's what that's exactly why you're nervous. And now Yaba talks about the tennis match and what's gonna happen. So either she's even more of a cuck than I knew, or, it's all some sort of game tactic. But tennis match right? Tennis matches, being broadcasted are a felony, and you think I'm gonna be stupid enough to commit a felony for your dumb ass, Shan? Okay, so, Yaba either believes that Sam was in a lesbian relationship with Arabia during the time when she first moved, or she knows that she lied in court. Either way, that makes her, in my book, another chalk up to being a cuck because her girlfriend routinely, makes her look silly when she makes her way around the drama community looking like a dumbass. Um, and when I say that Sam stalked Yaba, Sam rolled up into town to, moved into a hotel room with no intention of ever going back. She left that house 5 months behind in rent in South Bend with her 2nd son, or, not her oldest son, the other son, and 5 months behind in rent, didn't even tell him, took her dog, and headed to go make her dreams come true. So, when she first got there, she stayed in a motel, but Yaba still wasn't ready to meet her. She had started to try to win her over, but she still wasn't ready to meet her. Well, eventually she ran out of funds, so she stayed with Arabia, and she was only supposed to be there for just a few days or whatever, but she ended up squatting because she had no place else to go. And so Arabia says, with Sam comes chaos. Chaos with Sam's children, chaos with Sam's decisions, chaos with, Sam's, uh, smoking needs, and, she wanted her out. And so she was still juggling trying to get, even good with Yaba because she had no place else to go. So eventually, when she, was seeing Yaba on a quit basis or whatever, she moved into an apartment, and, she used her unemployment money that everyone was getting with COVID to stay there. But she would follow Yaba to the stores that Yaba went to. She would like, watch what she was looking at on the shelves and stuff. Now this is, whether you believe it or not, this is what was told to me, until she figured out what kind of strings to push, or strings to pull and buttons to push that, to getting good. It was all a master manipulation, and that's what STEM is. I don't know what the pathology is behind that. Thank you, Raylene. Thank you so much. I don't know what the pathology is behind that, but it's both baffling, but it's concerning and baffling, but it's also kind of incredible how she managed to win over someone who hated her. Like, that's, I hats off to that. She managed to move in with someone that knew exactly who and what she was, and then, that and and set up house there. I mean, that's pretty incredible when you think about it. She accuses me of doing that to Sean. I'm not that good. I'm not that good to pull off a whole freaking, stalking campaign to get with someone who, just because I didn't like his ex-wife, that doesn't even make sense. But, that's probably neither here nor there. Now let's talk about the house. Y'all may know, some of you may not, but let's talk about the house and how that went down. So, Bob, there is a video on my, under my videos called "What About Bob?" I shared it the other day, but you can watch it at your leisure, not now. And I did it because she was making some allegations that I was, not being a true friend to a supporter who was going through something, in her life. And that supporter hasn't been back in me and Sean's, um, chat since she was made a spectacle of by Sam, and I hope she does come back because that wasn't fair. So, anyway, I put that video up there, and, this is something that happened with, another one of her hustles. She met an elderly gentleman when she was working at a dental office, and she managed to slowly get some sort of kinship with him where he would drop checks by for her at the dental clinic. She was like some sort of admin. She would He would drop checks off to her and things like that. And she, I guess, would in turn, I don't know, she said she made dinner for him and things like that. But she was always getting money from him. And he finally got sick and tired of always having to pay her rent that was behind and her utilities that had been shut off. So he bought her a house. He paid 55,000 for a little house, paid to have it remodeled, paid to have it furnished. And this is not a rich man. This man was good at saving. He was a widower, and he was by no means a millionaire. He had just planned well, had good investments, but he was on a fixed income. There was a lump sum of money, but it certainly wasn't anything that he didn't need to live off of. So he bought her this house, and because Sam is always doing stupid, erratic things when she needs money, she decided to sell the house. And she was selling the house to, for like to a someone who wanted to flip it, an investor who wanted to flip it. And so she sold it to them. But when she showed up to close on the house, someone who used to be in our community, Mama Beth World, had contacted, had pulled some sort of background and contacted all of the financial entities that had a lien against Sam because of failure to pay. So when she showed up to closing, my understanding is she only got either one fourth or half. Okay, Presley, one fourth or half of the money that she was supposed to get for the house. So I have no idea how much she ended up walking away with. She could not, yeah, she could not back out of the sale at that point. She couldn't like say never mind and walk out. I don't know the laws with that, but it was pretty much a done deal. So she thought she was going to walk out with a certain amount of money, and then she only walked out with a very small portion of it. Not only that, but then because I don't know what her game plan was, but because she then had no place to go, she asked the investor if she could rent the house back from him for whatever amount of money they agreed on. So she sold the house, took a loss, and then she wants to rent it back from the guy. And I guess they said yes. He was like, that's fine. He had no intention of do anything to right then. So she rented her own house that she just sold. Then, because she's such a disaster, she quits paying rent, right? So her son moves in with a very young child into that house. Gradually, it got 5 months behind, and Sam like I said, throws the dog and all of her stuff into her car and takes off to go find Yama. And that's how those 2 attach. That's how it attaches to the what I told earlier of how she got there and what she did. Um, didn't tell her son it was behind. I I I don't know how long it took because remember they canceled evictions for a while. Nobody was allowed to kick anybody out at that during that time. And then I would assume once they lifted it, he had to go somewhere else. I'm not sure, but that's what she did to her to her own son. And the dog situation and what happened with it, and Sam abandoning it with Arabia, and then it became a pawn, and then whatever. The only thing I can say is that the dog has a good home now. So all of that is like the whole dog situation is not something I'm going to get into because it was a crazy situation. A lot of y'all watched how it played out. She ended up like she abandoned it with Arabia when she finally got the apartment. Arabia tried to get her to get it several times. Screenshots have been out there of the and didn't. But then when it became something that she could, when Arabia finally said, "I'm so done with you," uh, that's when it became an issue. And she said that her daughter needed that dog back. It was her comfort animal from to help her through a really tragic time in her life. And then she sent it to California. I don't know. That's neither here nor there. Speaking of things that Bob did that Sam screwed him over for, he bought her a minivan. It was not a very old one. It was a caravan. It was to help her with her new granddaughter and to help her. It was a little bit, I don't know what she drove before, but it was a nice van. So at some point on a harebrained idea, because it was bought and paid for, Sam decided to trade it in for like a Maxima or something like that, something on one of those buy here, pay here lots. Okay. And then a couple days later, she regretted it and she traded that car back in to get her van back at the same lot. So let's listen. So take this. Okay. A paid for van. She trades it in for a Maxima, right? I don't know if it was an even trade or what, but that's what she did. And it may have been a Camry or something. I don't know the exact thing, but so traded it in. And then 2 days later, bought the van back, bought the van back at a loss and incurred a payment for the van that had been bought and paid for by Bob. Then, because this is what she does when she needs cash, she wrecked the van on purpose and got a check for $14,000 from the insurance company. That's all I have to offer. That's all I have to offer. I mean, that's what she did. She's a dumbass. When people talk about how brilliant she is, no, she's manipulative, but she's a dumbass. She's totally a dumbass. So, and then when she got the check, we were on the phone together. She didn't have a bank account. She'd fucked over all of her bank accounts. So she didn't have a place to deposit cash or whatever. You couldn't go get it cash at regular cash checking. It's way too much money. So it turned out, I believe it was like Wells Fargo was who issued the check or something. That's what the bank was. So we're on the phone trying to find this freaking where she can go get it cash because she needed it cash that day. She drove all the way to wherever the Wells Fargo is, and either they had to hold it. So I don't remember what it was, but it didn't work out. So she went to a place. She found a check cashing place that did. They charged her like $800 and then cashed it for her. I don't know. That's how that went down. So there were some crazy times that she and I had, but it goes to illustrate the unmanageability in her life. That's how she exists. She exists hand to mouth. She doesn't like think ahead of things other than like right then. Oh, looks like pros. Are we good? Okay. She doesn't think ahead to do that. Now let's talk about her accusation that I'm racist. If you have been around for any length of time, you'll know how many people Sam has accused of being racist. She has accused Savage, Pirate, when she didn't like that girl Buns, she accused Buns of being racist. She accused, this is where it gets good. When Yaba made a video, again, it's on my channel, made a video making fun of the fact that she did a GoFundMe. Yaba used some character from South Park, I believe Stark and Marvin is that, and used that as part of the video where she was talking about how, Sam is a con and a hustler. Um, so Sam deems that as racist. At one time, um, Sam was convinced that, Yaba was extreme racist, um, that's what she thought. So how that's now turned around that everybody else is and not Yaba, I don't know. And let me tell you, I have never seen a white race baiter as bad as Sam. I have never seen a cock ooh. Am I cutting in and out? It might tell me if I'm cut it might have been a little bit delayed. A little. Any better? Aw. Is it better? 'Cause I think the chat might be a little delayed. Let me know when it get okay, yes, alright. Better? Okay, okay. Okay, so even to the extent of she made she put Savage's face in a Klan outfit and set it as a wallpaper at one extremely troubling things like that. So it's I don't have to justify that I am not race no, you're good. I don't have to justify or explain how many different races, and I'm not going to. What I will say, I have no idea what the struggle is like that Black people have gone through, and I'm saying that sincerely. Looks like it's cutting out again. I hope not. Ugh, I wonder let me try this. Hold on. Is it better? Tell me if it's any better. Oh, hold on. I gotta go back and find the chat. Hold on. Mhm. Are we good? I have to go back and open the chat. Hold on, here it is. It's so blurry. Okay. Okay. We good? I have my chat back. Are we good? Okay. Okay. I don't know what I hope it's working. I don't know what that struggle is like, and I can't begin to guess. And in that sense, um, we went through with seeing the step and fetch and what have you. I found out that it was an ignorant thing to say. I'm gonna say it again because and sometimes I need to be told that, it's, educate yourself on what it means. I did, and I'm done. That doesn't make me racist. And I think that for a Caucasian like Sam to continually accuse people of being racist is, is pretty ignorant, and it's ignorant to the struggle that actually exists. Man, I don't know if it's hold on, let me see here. I can just ignore it if it's buffering on my end. Let me pop the chat out. Hold on. I'm still here. I'm just wanted to pop the chat out. Okay. Okay. I've put the chat over my face so I don't see if it freezes or whatever so that I won't stress about that. So anyway, it's ignorant, but it's not racist. I educated myself on it and I am not going to use it again. I'm speaking, that's what I have no problem with that. But what I won't do is acquiesce to Sam, who's my same race, deciding what's racist and what's not, when she's never known what it's like to have that struggle. And that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm not going to give 1,005 reasons why I'm not. I'm just going to say that I'm not going to say that again and be done with it. And apologize. Well, I'm not going to apologize now. I already did, but I won't use it again. But it's interesting that she accused Yaba of being extremely racist. And now that's all good, right? That's okay. And she also does she not remember uh, what MFW said about her children? Does she not? I mean, because she apparently still associates with her and has no problem with her. Is everybody knows what she called her kids. Um, so that was about that. Let's cover the next top things, and then we will. Um, let's talk about the schoolyard name that she calls it. For those of you who don't know, she calls them stink box. I'm not gonna get into the reason why it's a really stupid reason, but I'm not gonna get into why she calls me that. This is a 40-something-year-old woman calling another female a name that you would hear on a schoolyard playground. Do you understand what I mean? Like, every time I see that come across, I'm like, "This is a full-grown ass woman." With children and grandkids. I'm it's perplexing to me. And she calls it's so weird. I'm like, you have no idea what it and again, Yaba, do you not care that your girlfriend obsesses over what's between my legs? That's super weird. That's super weird. Um, and it is because all I did was ask what the symptoms were, you know what I mean? And like I said, Katie gave her all of the texts. Those are been out. Nobody cares about those. Those have been out. Um, Nobody gives a shit about those. So if that's still your go-to, I can't even I can't help you with that because it's weird. Now, last thing that I'm gonna touch on, and people can ask questions too. Uh, Sam has been in small claims court no less than 20 times, y'all. For real. Like 20 plus times. She doesn't like to pay for shit, I can tell you that. And then she said that I've had 2 bankruptcies. I have. I've had 2 bankruptcies. But it looks to me like she's had 3. and I may be incorrect, but I believe she might have had 3 because, the damn Freedom of Information Act and all. I don't know, like, why she would talk about my bankruptcies, and let's talk about her check deception felony that she faced with in 2013. Let me tell you how she scored that. She wrote a check to hire a moving company to help them move. And I don't know if it was like within the same state or if it's when she moved to Texas. I can't remember. But it was a check to a moving company. After they did the work, she put a stop payment on the check so they didn't get paid. And it was for enough money that it was a felony. I believe she said it was something like 14 or $1,500. Absolutely tragic she does. Something like that. So she, and she it was in 2009 when this place filed it. And in 2013, it was decided. And I don't give a shit what the actual result of it was. She'll probably say that. But, yeah, she fucked over a moving company, which they're not known to be wealthy individuals. So, yeah, I mean, that's that's it's incredible. Let me look through another one of these that she then we're gonna talk about adultery. That's gonna be the next one. Let me see who else. So we've got about 3 bankruptcies, no divorce. You know that, she's not divorced. You guys that believed that thing that she showed was her final divorce filing, it wasn't, she dropped it. She doesn't wanna drop it, you wanna know why? Because she wants to collect the disability that her husband gets when he passes away. That's why. Um, let me make sure before I go on to the yeah, she doesn't like paying doctors and vets. She fucks over a lot of veterinarians. Um, let's see. What the hell? Mortgage foreclosure in 2017. What is that about? Um, and she's not working, y'all. She's not working. Her job is to stalk me on the internet and talk about foodie beauty, apparently. Okay, so let's talk about infidelity. She likes to, encourage everyone to, think that I swooped in and I stole Trisha's husband right out from under them. They were just having a few problems, and I swooped in, I stole him, and took him to Texas. Look at my Twitter. I posted the DM or the text between she and Sean of what really happened. She told Sean to hit the road and run. She said it would be so much better once he left. That was how that worked. Let's talk about infidelity. So when she was in Texas, she worked at a restaurant. I think she said it was either a Chili's or a TGI Fridays, one of those kind of restaurants. She at night she would come back up to the restaurant in her husband's car, and this is what she told me. She would have sex with the busboys in the front seat of the car when they would come out, like the bussers, the ones that clear the tables and stuff. And she'd go back up there and wait, and when they would come out, she would have sex with them in her car. Is that not incredible? Have a good day, Presley. Thank you for being here. Love you. Um, that's what she would do while she was married to somebody else. Yeah, so, um, there's other instances, it doesn't really matter all the details, but that is I hope she's trolling when she comes at me for some infidelity. I really, really do, because she's got quite an extensive history. She's already showed that there's nothing that she won't say or nothing that she won't tell. I don't know what her end game is. I'm hoping it's to make money, but she says that it's for, getting back at me for saying that I was getting the goods to DC. What are the goods, Sam? A tennis match tape that doesn't exist? Or is that the goods? You say it doesn't exist. Why are you worried about it? Why are you worried about it? Like, if it doesn't exist, then go about your happy life and don't worry about it. Um, I don't get into the whole foodie beauty review thing or whatever. People do it. That's fine. I mean, I don't know. I don't care. But when they start talking about like fat on fat crime or whatever, and what the people look like that are actually reviewing it, you know what I mean? Like the nerve of these people. Let me show you this. This is Sam and Yava. These are recent. These pictures are recent. How are these two women going to talk about other women's weight? That's it right there. How are these two going to, you want to talk about Alex Glitter's weight that you think you know, which you don't? Look at this. I asked Arabia if Sam has ever been this big, and Arabia said that she's always had a weight problem, but her face literally looks like it's going to explode. My guess would be that she's either has a very, very, very tragic, has a very, very bad diet, or she's maybe like a box wine drinker. No, for real. Like I'm serious. Like she looks like she's bloated, like something like that. Um, y'all, y'all got each other. You love each other. Go for it. But I wouldn't talk about anybody else's weight. You know what I mean? Um, that's incredible to me. Oh, I think, and I've talked to a few other people, some people that are have been OGs that don't that that have been around for a while. Most people agree that Yaba has turned into an almost unrecognizable person since she's really gotten entangled with Sam. That she is making decisions and doing things that she would not have done before she got mixed up with Sam. Okay, so the one thing that Yaba said was that the reason the girl that she dated before, Kirsty, the reason that she's glad she never met her is because they both had tempers so bad that Yaba was afraid she would put hands on her. Okay, that's what she said. If this relationship ends, it's going to be bad. That's between these two's um, uh, unpredictability and impulse control problems, it's going to be really, really bad. And I don't know that they'll ever break up. Who knows? They want to sit and wait for me and Sean to blow apart, which is weird. But it's you mark my words, it's going to be bad. They have a very toxic relationship. They feed off each other both literally and in the online world. To all of you that are super, super intimidated by the two of them, whether it's their threats to take you to court or that they're going to drag you or their people are going to come for you, please keep in mind that this is online, that they can't come through the screen and grab you, right? They can't do anything. The two are shut-ins. The two of these people get everything delivered. They're shut-ins. And they have built this online persona of being big and bad, right? But they don't leave their house, right? It's all online. Um, so, the other screenshot. When I texted Sam on the airplane after we left North Carolina, after Trisha filed those ridiculous claims on those ridiculous, all the way in Texas, those ridiculous claims. Let me tell you where that came from. And I do actually have this screenshot. I'll post it afterward. Sam had gotten Trisha so convinced and worked up that she could file her own legal things, that she could do her own divorce, that if she was going to get X, Y, and Z, and she was going to do this restraining order, and she was going to be there for her, and she was going to make sure that she got everything that was coming to her. Let me tell you what she did. She certainly didn't show up. Trisha came with nothing in her hands, nothing. By the time it was said and done, Trisha had scrawled on 2 pieces of spiral paper whatever she could, because the judge said, look, we're going to lunch. When we come back, you're gonna need to show something or give some examples of what you're saying. So Trisha scrabbled on 2 pieces of paper, and then it was dismissed because it was such a disaster. So when I got on the plane, I sure did. I said, "Wow, you're a big mental health advocate. You left that girl to look absolutely ridiculous on the stand. You promised her you were going to come up with all this. You were going to help her through it. You were going to give her the information. And at the end of the day, it was a scared 40-something-year-old woman with not a damn thing to present as evidence." So yeah, I did email you right on the plane because I thought, damn, what a POS, man. What a POS. And then she had her drawing up her own divorce papers, and that was a joke. Anyway, so that is when she showed that screenshot and she goes, don't text me again, you're harassing me. That's all I said. Um, they've said that no less than how many people are gonna be in handcuffs soon? I've been mugshot ready for going on 2 months now, and nobody's come to get me. The Jehovah's Witness did, but I know whose play that's out of. Um, and there was one what I was gonna end it on. Let me think. There's so much. I want because there's gonna be another one. Let let me see here. Yeah, a lot of people. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna end it on where we're at now. If you want to talk about me till the end of time, Sam, and drop all kinds of evidence and write timelines about what went on, and then you can go ahead and do that because I'm going to tell you something. I actually, my day to day life, other than listening to live streams and like commenting and having fun, is very different than what yours looks like. Hey, Stewie, you don't have to block Stewie. He's doing that to be funny. Um, I have places that I go. I have charities that I'm involved in. I have chickens. I have pets. I clean the house. I do all of these things. When I need money, I find part-time work or I help someone with dementia. My life is different than yours. And if you want to talk about me forever, I guess go ahead and talk about me forever. Obviously, ignoring you isn't going to do any um, any good because you don't stop then either. But I will go back to ignoring you, but that after I'm done addressing you. Um, I have I find the Y2U, I guess that's the initials for it, for that channel. I think it's very concerning, and I think that it is a platform for bullying, and I also think it is continually infringing on the rights of somebody else, and I'm gonna take some time to really look at that. There's another, couple people that feel the same way. So it's not. I just really think that that's what I'm gonna spend some time doing. And we'll see how that goes. It may go nowhere. It may go somewhere. But you know how I like to make sure that everybody's treated fairly. I just don't think that the people on that channel are treated very fairly. So anyway, I'll work on that. That's neither here. Um, oh, I didn't know that. The swords are supposed to represent scissors. Yeah, that's gross. Exactly. We can laugh at it. I mean, someone said earlier that it has something to do with Sam has the hots for me. At this point, I have to almost agree because nobody holds on to somebody and gets upset when they're happy. Do you know what I mean? Remember, you guys watched me. Remember what I used to say when she and Yaga were doing their thing and hey, German lady, and was I mean, I didn't even know what they foodie beauty. They were doing that, but they weren't talking about like old stuff or whatever. I said if she's found love and she's happy and it's made her uh, less of a bitch, then I'm happy for her. right? So I don't know why she's come sniffing back around and drawing up old stuff. It's all shit that we already know. It's all shit that we already knew, all right? And so I I can make coin, do once a week and do some drama streams. I can even launch a membership where I drag them behind a paywall. There's all sorts of things, right? So that's my point. It doesn't it can go on, we can have fun, going back and forth and giving people the drama because I can turn it off and be done. You can't turn it off and be done because the 2 of you's entire life exists from being something online on YouTube. That's where you get your validation is that when you get your foot soldiers together. Speaking of one of your foot soldiers is a chronically ill alcoholic. The fact that I don't know if Katie's messy and tells your bullshit or if she's trolling or if y'all tell her misinformation to laugh at her when she puts it out there, like, nobody's gonna lose their internet privileges. Negs is not gonna lose his internet privileges. The only person that I know of that successfully lost their internet privileges is your sword-wielding friend over there, Buns, because she was a back page lot wizard online. She wasn't allowed to be on the internet for a period of time because she was a bad girl and was selling her body online. Sorry, that's the way that it is. That's the reality of it, and you can't take someone's internet not rights away because you don't like what they say. Whether you like negs, don't like these things, don't like you can't you it takes a lot for them to take someone's internet rights, and it has to be a very, um it has to be a pretty blatant felony, which selling ass online is. Oh my god, y'all are cracking me up. I'm trying not to, um right. When you go into court and you show, um, evidence and you say, "Well, they said this," and we are all protected to say whatever shit that we wanna say online, provided it's not a threat with intent behind it. And you know and I know there's no one threatening you guys that you need to take people to court, but that's what they are. They're cop calling court abusers. I don't know any other word for it. Yaba would have never filed anything on anybody, um, like she threatens to do now. She would have never threatened to file anything on anybody online when she was in her right mind. She would have blown it off. But I tell you what Yaba doesn't like. She doesn't like drama coming into her household and messing with her bottom line or her kids. And what you're doing now, Sam, is bringing a whole lot of drama to your doorstep. You're bringing a whole lot of drama to your doorstep and into the lives of a single mom and her 2 children 3 children. And you know why? That it's a single mom and your 3 children and her 3 children because you're not married. Those are not your kids, Sam. Those are not your kids. They have a father. They have a father, okay? A father that was never called an abuser and a scumbag before you came into the picture. He popped through many times when Yaba would be streaming. Sometimes they would laugh together. He wasn't there very often, but he was. He didn't turn into a depraved, sick criminal until you decided to make him feel that way. Yeah, she doxed her kids to say none of them were speaking to her because she wanted to do it before I had the chance. Surprise, I I don't give a shit about what goes on. No offense, but um, I'm not going to break down the because they're troubled. They're troubled, and we know why they're troubled because you turned your back and you ignored them and what they were going through for a very long time. And then you pulled pitch and left South Bend to go stalk someone that you've been obsessed with almost as much as me, but you made that one happen. You made that one somehow you got into her head and you made her think that you were not what we all know you are, which is a hustler and a con. Period. Period. Right. Yeah. You were the one that decided that it was a good idea to dox and show Savage's son and say that where my daughter was living and where it was. You tried to find out where Sean was working. You guessed Sprouts when you pulled up your map. I wasn't talking about you then. I have not you are the, epitome of, like, an obsessed girlfriend, ex-girlfriend, and that's why I'm saying it's not gonna be good when they break up, if they break up. It's not gonna be a good situation at all. It's scary. But that's their road to hoe. So if you wanna keep talking about me, I guess keep talking about me, right? Talk about Sean. Um, it doesn't matter to me. But I'm telling you, I'm undertaking a new project, and I'm not done. I have a couple of, panels that people want me to do, and we'll see where that goes. Thank you. Um, that's all I can really say. If any of you have questions real quick, I'll do it for about 5 minutes, like 10 10 minutes, let's be real quick. I can answer some questions. But another thing is she said she couldn't really remember how our friendship fell apart the first time. It fell apart because you broke into my Twitter. My dumbass had given her, the password to it when she was helping me figure something out. I think she needed to get in and show it was a DM or something, or she wanted to anyway, it doesn't matter. But I couldn't get her out. Like, after our friendship fell apart, I tried changing the password, but since she was already logged in on her device, I couldn't get her logged out. And I would be DMing with someone and literally, it would say that I was typing, right? But it was her typing on her end. I could not get her out of my Twitter. She would not get out of it. I had to close that one and create another one. So it was my fault for giving her the password at the time that we were friends for that one time when she was trying to help me do something. No, we're about to go. So, but that's the way it was. I would be sitting there DMing with somebody, and it would say I was typing. You know what I mean? Like, it was crazy. Um, so that's what happened with that. And the second time we made up, it was just so she would stop. It was easier just to make up with her so she would stop. Not anymore. I'm a lot stronger than I was then. A lot stronger. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you, mods. Jocelyn was listening. I gotta fix her so that she can, um, I'm gonna I'm gonna make sure I covered it all. If there's no questions, let's see. Yeah, looks like I covered it. My Twitter is at Mrs. MISSUSATX. And if you have any questions, I will. Oh my God. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to jot it down. I'm thinking about doing, like I said, a drama stream once a week. Not any more than that, because Sean and I got our thing going on, and I like doing that. But I figured we'll keep the drama on our channels. I have memberships actually that I set up and everything. I just haven't launched them. But I figure if I'm going to talk about if I'm going to talk about this bullshit, I'm going to do it sometimes open and sometimes behind a paywall because, hey, why not? Thank you for being here, you guys, for real. I think that's all. I know most of you gotta go. Thank you for being here. Sorry for the rough start. I should have troubleshot it before I came up here or whatever. But yeah, that's the extent of it. She'll just talk about me forever. And I don't know. I guess they thank you. I think they uh at least I made clear my side, right? Because I've got a lot of supporters that were like, "Man, speak on it. Quit letting me do this shit." And I did. So anyway, thank you guys. Thank you for being here and mods. Thank you. And y'all have a good day and I'll see you next time. Bye. Let's hit it. Hold on. Because you know it takes me forever to figure out how to get off. Do, 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 do. Let me go into this one.